Today I'm drinking coffee out of this mug that says, "Dogs are my favorite people," while I wear this shirt that's covered in cats, because I'm one of those cringy pet moms that Classically Abby doesn't believe count as real moms. And to be fair, I never asked to be counted as a real mom. What is a mom?
Look, everybody, it's the lady I told you about from my dreams.
As I mentioned in last week's video, I bet Matt Walsh's new documentary is gonna be, what is a MILF? What is a MILF? What is a mom? What is a mommy? Am I a mommy? Are you my mommy?
I got two mommies to look after me now.
Classically Abby, are you my mommy? I don't know. But either way, Abby has made no secret of the fact that she doesn't think that dog moms or cat moms or non-human moms count as real moms. And you know what? That is totally fine. I perfectly get that. I would never put myself on par with someone who is responsible for raising a human child and keeping them alive. It's a completely different experience. It's a completely different responsibility. And I'm okay with that. The fact that I've chosen not to have kids is what's best for me in my life personally, just as when Classically Abby decided she did want to have kids, I was rooting for her, and I even went to her Instagram to personally congratulate her on her pregnancy.
Fought for you, Glen Coco. You go, Glen Coco.
Because I think everyone should do what's best for their own personal lives, and I will support every woman's free choice to make whatever choice she wants with her own life until the end of time, and that includes you, Miss Classically Abby. However, I recently saw a thumbnail for Classically Abby's new video called Obvious Truths I'm Tired of Saying. Can we stop acting like these are controversial? And in her thumbnail for that, she included that we should all have babies. We all need to procreate. We all need to become parents as one of the obvious truths that she's tired of saying. I've had people ask me before, hey Savvy, if you are supposedly supportive of all women's choices, why not support Abby's choice to be the way she is? And the truth is, I do support Abby. I've said from the beginning that if Abby wants to be a mother, which she did want to be a mother, and then she became a mother, and now she has a kid, and she seems very happy, good for her. I rooted for her. I congratulated her. What I don't support is her telling me how I have to be. I support her doing what she wants for her life, and when she doesn't try to force me into living my life in her way, I leave her the fuck alone. But now she's decided to try to stoke the flames again, which the fact that this video has more downvotes than upvotes at this point might be a sign that she was trying to controversy bait a little bit, but who knows? We are going to react to Abby's video together live today. It is my first time ever seeing it, and we're going to talk about what she says in this video, whether I agree or disagree, and what she's on about in the first place. Let's do it.
Get you some nuts.
There was lots of memes.
Makes me wonder if I should take up lesbianism.
Chicago.
You guys asked for it.
What's up, my fellow small business supporters? I'm Savvy. Welcome back to Savvy Writes Books, the channel where we talk about books and business, and also sometimes include some commentary about feminism, the LGBTQ community, and other topics like that as well. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe, because every Friday at 11 a.m. Central, I have new videos coming out, and I often put out extra videos throughout the rest of the week as well. And in addition to that, don't forget to check out my second channel, Your Morning Guru, which is linked below, where every single weekday morning at 7 a.m. Central, I host a morning show live stream, so if you want to hang out with me live, that is the place to do it. But for now, let's talk about Abby and these obvious truths that she's so tired of saying. Can we stop acting like these are controversial? Does that sound like the BoJack Horseman fake TV show?
Katie Salinger presents Hollywood stars and celebrities. What do they know? Do they know things? Let's find out.
That's what it is. Does Abby know anything? We're about to find out. Look at Abby over here with her 100,000 subscriber YouTube black up in the corner. I still don't have one of those, and that's because I'm jealous of Abby. That's why I'm being critical of her, because I'm jealous that she hit 100,000 subscribers and I didn't, but that's okay. All right, Abby, let's do it.
Hello, Classic Crew, and welcome to today's video, where we're going to be talking about obvious truths I'm tired of saying.
Oh, I love those jump cuts. Obvious truths I'm tired of saying. That really emphasize that. What are some obvious truths you're tired of saying? I'll tell you what an obvious truth I'm tired of saying is, and that is that every woman should respect every other woman's life to live her life however she goddamn wants, meaning I respect your individuality, Abby, and you can respect mine. I thought that was an obvious truth, but apparently it's not.
If you are new to my channel, here we talk about classic living and traditional values, and I would love if you would consider subscribing and hitting that notification.
Why doesn't she do more content on classical living? I would love to see her do more like vintage fashion videos or like vintage home decor or videos about recipes that were popular in decades past.
Tonight's specials, we have a sea bass, which is broiled, and we have a hot pocket, which is cooked in a dirty microwave.
Like, where's the actual historical content? I would subscribe for that. I think I already did subscribe because I react to her a lot anyway. She doesn't seem to focus a lot on the classical living part. She seems to define classical as whatever she personally likes and says that whatever she does is classical living and that we should all live classically because we should all be like her because she's always right.
Because I win.
And that's not what classical living is, Abby.
And if you haven't already subscribed to my Substack newsletter, where you'll get access to a ton of exclusive content, including my podcast, my book club, my discussion threads in our community, make sure to head over to classicallyabby.substack.com.
I did subscribe to that. I unsubscribed. I paid for 1 month of it because I wanted to react to the thing that she did about the whole pregnancy mommy milkers gate. You guys remember that, right? Where she was getting sexually harassed on Twitter and I came out in her defense and she was not grateful.
If you hear a baby in the background, that is my son. He's really cute and he's awake right now, so he is in the room with me while I am filming. But today we're going to be talking about obvious truths that I'm tired of defending, that I'm tired of saying. Y'all, these are obvious.
Are you actually tired of saying them, or are you excited to say them because it's going to get you attention in the video? How many views did this get? It's gotten about 7,000 so far, and 474 upvotes, 496 downvotes. Okay, we'll take a look at the comments in a bit too. Let's go back to it.
We should all know them by now. And I'm so annoyed that it's still controversial when I say them. So let's get into today's video.
Let's do.
Abby's like, I'm so annoyed that it's controversial when everybody doesn't think exactly like me. Why isn't everyone a carbon copy of me? Clearly I'm the best.
This.
Number 1, stop having sex with random people. And by random people, I know this is really not popular, but I'm talking about anyone who you're not married to. Yes, your boyfriend is a random person.
Wait, oh, sorry, your boyfriend is a random person? Okay. Abby knew that this was not an obvious truth that she was tired of saying. There's no one who's living in the year of 2022 who thinks it shouldn't be controversial to say no one should ever have sex outside of marriage. Abby, I have told you to your face. By to your face, I mean in a reaction video. We've never spoken one-on-one before. I know. Abby, I have told you directly that I support your right not to have sex until you're married, which you did. You had sex after you were married. You didn't have sex before you were married, and I thought that was great for you. I think every individual person should have the right to make whatever choice they want for their own body. And that includes whether you want to have sex with someone before marriage, whether you want to have any sexual contact with anyone ever. That is every individual's choice to make for themselves. And Abby, I respect yours. Why does it matter to you what I do? Abby, I had sex before marriage. I had sex before marriage with a lot of people. Some of them were women.
No way.
And some of them were random.
Yes way.
One of them, I don't even know their first or last name. Sorry. That was a weird night, though. I wouldn't repeat it.
Because you've not committed yourself to sharing your life with that person. So yes, your boyfriend is random. Anyone who's not your spouse is random.
How are they random? They're not your spouse, because you didn't commit to sharing your life with them. I'm sorry, is sharing sex equivalent to sharing your life? Sharing genital fluids is the same thing as sharing your life? I didn't realize genital fluids were equivalent to our entire life now. More like sexually, Abby over here.
Stop doing it. It's not good for you. It's not good for you mentally. It's not good for you emotionally. It's not good for you physically. There's really nothing good about having sex before you're married.
I would disagree. I think there's lots of things good about having sex before you're married. For example, you want to make sure the person you marry you're sexually compatible with. Because some people in a certain couple might have different sex drives, some people might have different sexual preferences, some people might have sexual preferences that are completely incompatible with the other person's sexual preferences, and whether you want that to be a part of your relationship that you prioritize versus whether you don't is very much up to that individual couple. So a lot of times having sex before marriage to try to figure out whether this is even going to work long term is important. And I know that Abby might say to that, well, why does it have to work sexually? Why can't you just let the marriage work based on love and shared property and combining your assets and procreating and having a family together? Because I don't want to. And in America, we have freedom. So you can. It's not for me. And here's the thing though, I don't get why she cares whether other people do it or not. She just needed some ad revenue, so she rage baited for some clicks. That's what I think.
The great thing about sex when you're married is that it brings you and your husband closer together. It gives you the opportunity to create a new life. It's a great thing when you're married. But when you're not married, it's dumb. Stop doing that.
When you're not married, it's dumb. I don't know. I think it's fun. Abby, you have never had sex outside of marriage, so how can you say that it's dumb? You've never tried it. No, that's a stupid argument because, like, I've never been dead before, but I also don't want to die. How savvy? How can you know you don't want to die if you've never been dead before? Yeah, that's a stupid argument. Abby, disregard that. But what about it is dumb specifically? Just because you don't like something doesn't mean it's dumb.
Just stop.
Why? Why do I need to stop? I mean, I'm already married, so you don't have to tell me, but Abby, that ship has sailed. I've already had sex with a lot of people before I was married, and now I'm married. I can't go back in time. If you invent a time machine, let me know.
Have to stop.
Number 2, get married. Yeah, getting married is actually better than any other option. If you
I'm already married. You don't have to tell me again.
can get married, get married.
Why? That's the thing. I'm already married, so I'm not saying that you're wrong, because I like being married because it's good for healthcare benefits. It's good for joint filing your taxes. I do like sharing my life with one person, but like the government legal contract of marriage isn't required to be part of that. It just has some benefits. But not everyone wants to be married, and there's no reason someone should have to be.
Now, for those people who have been looking and are having a hard time finding the right person, we're not really talking about that scenario, right? Because they're trying their best to find the right person. But for everyone else who thinks that marriage is just an option, that marriage is...
It is just an option, because in America we have freedom. Thought you cared about America and freedom. Whether you care about America and freedom changes based on whether freedom aligns with what you personally like. It's very weird that you care this much about other people's life choices, Abby.
okay, or that marriage is actually a worse choice than remaining single. That's stupid.
It's stupid, okay. But, I mean, it depends on the specific situation. Why don't you just let people live their lives?
Stop that. It's obvious that marriage is the best option.
Based on what?
You have support. You have a lifelong love.
You can have that without marriage. When you say marriage, are you referring to like religious ceremonies that happen with marriage, or are you talking about specifically the government contract? Because if you truly just like emotionally commit yourself to someone, whether or not there's a contract you signed at the office of the Secretary of State downtown at City Hall, and you actually signed and turned in that piece of paper, does that make a difference? Because would you and your husband not still have that same level of support if the government weren't tying you together by legally combining your assets? And again, I'm not an anti-marriage person. I'm in fact married, but this is just weird.
Lifelong commitment. You can build a family with someone who has promised to stay with you and support that family.
You can promise yourself to someone without marrying them. I'm not saying don't marry them. You can marry them, but you just haven't provided any solid arguments. Why are you so mad too? Maybe she's not mad. This could just be because I put her on 1.5 speed.
You can enjoy the company of someone for the rest of your life. And honestly, getting married makes the world a better place.
Makes the world a better place? Abby, are you telling me that I have to make decisions for my own personal life based on what's gonna make society better? That sounds like socialism. Sounds like socialism, Abby. I thought that you were an independent, free market capitalist who believed that everyone's own decisions were personally their own because we're supposed to have freedom. But now you're telling me that if marriage makes society better, that we should all have to get married for the sake of other people. Sounds a little socialist, but okay.
Obviously.
Number 3, have babies.
No.
Yes, having babies is...
No, don't tell me yes. I am not planning to have a baby. There is no baby coming out of me. Not happening. Not happening, Abby. I know you want me to be your mommy. You want me to be your mommy really bad, but I'm never gonna be a mommy, okay? Closest thing I'm ever gonna be to be a mommy is being Chewy's mommy. He's my little pit bull baby, and to being everyone's muscle mommy. Here's why having a dog is better than having children, because it's not considered ethical to bench press your children.
actually a good thing. It is the best option.
It depends who you are. Some people, I'd say for the majority of people, they want to have kids, but wouldn't it be a worse option if you actively don't want kids to have a kid that you don't want? Because shouldn't a kid be born to someone who wants them?
If you can have babies, have babies.
I mean, I don't even know if I can have babies because I've never tried to conceive one. I do have a lot of health issues, so...
It's awesome. Number 1, it's fun. But number 2...
What do you mean it's fun? Is this because you don't have sex outside of procreation, so like the sex part is fun?
Giggity, 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 giggity. Ooh, ooh, ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang.
Or do you mean that like physically being pregnant is fun? Because for a lot of people, it's not. For a lot of people, there are major health complications that come along with pregnancy. There are permanent damages that are done to your body. I've seen people who, during pregnancy, the baby sucks all the calcium out of their body to the point where they lose all their teeth, and pregnancy causes them to lose all their teeth. I've seen situations where pregnancy, it does damage to your internal organs. People die during childbirth. People get preeclampsia and have massive health issues leading up to the whole process. Like, there's just tons and tons of issues that can happen with pregnancy. So it's not always fun. If you mean like raising a child is fun, again, that depends who you are. Not everybody thinks it's fun. I don't know why she's so mad about the fact that I don't like the same things that she likes. Abby, I've never once told you you couldn't be a mother or that I thought you shouldn't have babies. Why are you trying to tell me what to do with my life? I don't get it.
It's actually a fundamental good to take care of the next generation of people, to grow the next generation of people, and to raise them with good and strong moral values.
Okay, I completely agree that it's good for society to raise the next generation of people. You don't have to physically procreate to do that. I'm not even just talking about adoption here. You don't actually have to be a parent at all to do that. You can be someone who teaches kids, you can be involved in mentorship programs. I'm just saying that a lot of child-free people I know end up going into education and actually love helping with the next generation of people. And the next generation of people doesn't have to be a small child that you raise. If you're in your 50s or 60s, and the next generation of people could be college students in their 20s, and you're helping raise them by helping educate them and teach them about the world and teach them new ways of thinking and help them get trained in their job fields that they want to go into. I'm just saying that there are ways to positively influence the next generation without having to have your own child. And if you do want to have your own child, which Abby did, and I think she's probably a great mom. I don't see the inner workings of her life, but she's very passionate about having a child, and I think generally the best parents are the ones who actually actively wanted a child, so good for her. But if I don't want children, what makes you think I'm going to be a good parent? I'm a very selfish person. I think I'd be a terrible parent.
That's it. I don't know why this is complicated. Yes.
It's complicated because I don't want to have children. Like, I would hate the entire process of raising a human being. I would hate it. And I don't want to do it. That's why it's complicated.
Having babies is what you should be doing. Traveling
Why?
the world. Having a beautiful, amazing career. Okay.
I mean, first of all, I haven't traveled the world. I've been to like a few US states, and I went outside the country once when my in-laws lived in a different country, but I haven't really traveled the world. Having a career is often not a choice. It's often a thing people have to do to survive, because in this beautiful land of freedom, America, our healthcare is often tied to our employers, so that's not really a choice. And I don't know, your arguments are kind of like, traveling the world, having a career, having babies, that's great. It's like, okay, this is all opinion based. I thought facts weren't supposed to care about our feelings. Isn't that your brother Ben Shapiro's catchphrase? Yet all of your arguments are feelings based right now. They're like, well, having kids is the best because it's fun, and like, it's more fulfilling than a career or traveling the world. Like, maybe to you it is, and maybe to a lot of other people it is. You can't read my mind, Abby. You're projecting your own feelings onto me, and that is not factual.
Did you have babies? No? Oh, okay, what are you doing? Yes. Yes, I believe these things. Yes.
I'm glad you believe those things for yourself. There's no reason to try to force them onto me.
Yes, I'm being serious. And yes, this is obvious, and it should be obvious.
How is it obvious? If I don't want to have kids, why should I have kids? You haven't convinced me why I should have kids if I actively don't want them.
Okay, last but not least, men are different than women. Yeah.
Based on what?
Who could have guessed?
Oh my God.
Men and women are different. Men
What's different about them?
and women are very different in many fundamental ways. And that
Including?
means that men cannot become women and women cannot become men. Not only
Oh, this is just anti-trans stuff. So, based on what, though? Like, you gotta give me an example. So, if men are different, like, let's say your argument, I'm not saying that this is true, but let's say, because I'm better at giving examples than Abby is, as we know. Let's say your argument is that men and women are different because men have a penis and women have a vagina. It's true for a lot of people, but not for everyone. So, by your argument then, in that case, if a man got his penis removed and turned it into a vagina, then she would be a woman. Which is not at all how being trans necessarily works. That's a gross oversimplification. That's actually wrong in a lot of places. But I'm just trying to take Abby's own logic and question what she means by it.
in our biology, not only in our chromosomes, but also what we are, what we
So what is someone with XXY chromosomes? Are they a man or a woman? Or does their genitals determine that? I know that this is a small percentage of the population, but so are trans people. People who are a small percentage of the population who are exceptions to the overall rules should not be ostracized by society just because they're different than the average. That's very stupid.
do, who we are, what we want. These are all things that are
Wait, so what men and women want are inherently different too?
And I want a toilet made out of solid gold, but it's just not in the cards now, is it?
So I have to want the same things other women want? Based on what? Why are you trying to read my mind? Somebody take Abby out into like the Star Trek universe, because she can clearly see all these alternate universes and knows the truth about everyone and what they're thinking.
different between men and women. And yes, there
Okay, what are the differences? You still haven't laid them out.
can be crossover. Yes, some women are tomboys. Yes, some men are more feminine.
Well, you just said there was differences in the way that we think. So if there's more masculine women and more feminine men, what are the differences, Abby?
We're all still men and women, and they're different. Okay,
What's the difference? You still didn't tell me.
this is obvious. I'm done. That's it. So those are the 4 things I wanted to talk about today. We're just keeping it short and sweet. I'm feeling a little sassy, as you can see. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you aren't already,
Okay, yeah, I enjoyed today's video, but you know what I'm going to enjoy even more? The comments. Okay, I like this first comment. Having a children is a calling, not a moral obligation. Maybe this is actually a controversial opinion here, but people should have children because they want them. No kid should have to grow up feeling like they were an item on a how-to woman checklist. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Let's see how it's replied to. Having children change you forever in the best way, and if you're having sex, that's what you should expect. So yeah, I don't agree with your controversial opinion. I mean, having children changes some people in the worst way because some people die from having children. So I can't say that's universally true. Look at this. I love this person who's a conservative Christian and is like, Abby, usually I agree with you. You missed a mark on this one. This person says, I respect your opinions, and as a conservative Christian, I tend to agree with you on most things. However, I don't believe that child rearing or marriage is for everyone. In the Bible, Jesus set very high standards for us to abide by in marriage. His disciples noted that it would be better to remain unmarried since many could not fulfill the requirements of a Christian husband or wife. Jesus agreed. So I don't necessarily agree with this person's point either, because I think whether someone should get married and have children is up to their personal choice and their personal goals and has nothing to do with what the Bible tells us we have to do or what Abby tells us we have to do. However, I do think it's funny that this person's like, Abby, your opinion actually is conservative in the wrong way. I think that's kind of funny. Here we go. He's got a surprise Pikachu face to top it off. Opinions don't equal truths. Didn't Abby's brother say something kind of like opinions don't equal truths? Didn't he say something kind of like that? Like maybe facts and our feelings and one maybe not really caring about the other. Didn't Abby's brother say something like that? I would think that she would know that the things she was saying were opinions and not facts. How on earth can anyone think this is one-size-fits-all advice? I'm 32, and the older I get, the more happy I am single, and the less likely it is I'll find someone to marry. None of the single men I've ever liked have liked me back, which is a good thing now that I've realized I'm asexual, and someone expecting sex from me would most likely be traumatic. I'm very picky and independent. Dude, there we go. I don't think Abby knows about asexual people. Do we think she does? I don't know. People are like, this video feels like a parody. Yeah, the way she was in this video, I'm like, this has to be rage bait. She has to have not been getting a lot of views lately, so she probably tried to rage bait again because she knows that's what got her views and ad revenue in the past. Did you have babies? No? Okay, what are you doing? I'm doing precisely what I want to in my short life, Abigail. You can go ahead and make 5-minute videos complaining about things that don't affect you because you're bored, but that isn't going to change the world. This video is so insignificant, and I and many others simply value traveling and good work more than babies. As this person points out, yeah, she is obsessed with what other people do with their lives. It's very weird. Why does she care? Saying your opinion and exclaiming it's obvious after everyone doesn't make it true. Yeah, this person's right. So far, like, none of these comments have been agreeing with her because she didn't really back up her opinions at all. She was just like, this is true because it's obvious. The sources trust me, bro. I said so, and therefore that makes it true. I'm Abby, and I'm classical, and when you're classical, that means that you know what happened in the past, and you know all of history inherently by being assigned classical at birth. ACAB, as they say. Having children isn't a moral obligation in life. It's not everyone's path. I'm not saying having children is bad. Having a baby and bringing a child into the world is beautiful, but not everyone wants to do that, and no one should be forced to have children if they don't want to. Completely agree with this person. Completely agree. As this person says, it's as complicated as you make it. Here's how you make it simple. Those who want to reproduce are allowed to. Those who do not want to reproduce, their decision should be respected. Not everyone wants to have babies. I agree. This is pretty much what all of the comments are saying, talking about people, how Abby's projecting her own experiences and how not everyone wants kids and how Abby's just talking about stuff that doesn't affect her at all and just trying to tell other people how to live their lives. Why are you doing it, Abby? I don't get it. I find this shift for Abby very disappointing because even just a couple months ago, I was talking about how I appreciated the shift in her content, how when she first came on the YouTube scene, it really did feel like she was out here telling other women how to live their lives. But then I thought, you know what, now she's kind of documenting her own journey of pregnancy. She's talking about, you know, her own, like, here's my makeup tutorial, here's how I'm arranging my house, here's my vlog, here's how I do things. And I thought that content was a great move for her. And I was really happy for her. And I even posted on Twitter and on Instagram saying, you know, Abby, I've criticized you in the past, but it's really great to see someone who has been criticized kind of make a shift for the better in the information that they're putting out there. But I guess when that didn't get views anymore, she just went straight back to the being inflammatory for the sake of it so that could get clicks from people who don't like her. It's very sad, but I guess that's the state of the internet. I guess that's the state of the world we all live in. We live in a society, and isn't that terrible? Well, I'll see you guys again soon. Stay tuned for another video. In the meantime, keep on supporting small businesses. Have a great start to your day. Bye.
Get you some nuts.
There was lots of memes.
Makes me wonder if I should take up lesbianism.
Chicago.
You guys asked for it.